Ooh. Yeah, I like that. I have all these lovely Harris Tweed scraps. I was calling it a mystery project, but I can tell you now that it's going to be a little pouch. I'm going to make a little pouch for these. These are my flat bobbins for embroidery. So, you know, it's nice to have, if you've got lots of fabric around the place, it's nice to have these things in a nice fabric thing rather than crinkly old plastic, isn't it? So I'm going to make something nice and practice my skills while I'm doing it, you see. And here's another thing that I've made since that last video. And that is for the pouch, for the side of the pouch. I've just done it in a rough calico because I don't want to waste my tweed practicing skills. And it's like a side expanding flap of the pouch. I'm going to have one of those on either side. I just wanted to make sure the shape worked. So I have cut out a template for my shape, and I'm going to be making the shape out of a few of these scraps because they're very small scraps. So I'm going to cut these things out. The other thing that's going in is a support behind the fabric. I did that in the last video as well, tested it on those buttonholes. This stuff, which is a fusible interface, which gives your fabric a little bit more, less floppy feel and a bit more hold together type structure. So I'm going to cut that at the same time to the same size. Okay, so main bit of the pouch, inside, outside, flap, inside, outside. I'm doing all the kind of inside stitching in this little back stitch. That tacking stitch is going to come out. I'm making a little pocket for, there's the pouch part. And there's going to be a little pocket sort of in the back, and I have to sew this on to the inside so it doesn't show through here first before I then put the front on, you see. And it's going to fold over like that and have a little pocket in the back so that your working bobbins that you're using can be just tucked in there when you're working, and then all your main bobbins can be kept inside. Now, to get these two bits to go together, I'm making a little dart in either side of this one. I'm going to tack everything together to tuck edges in, and then one is going to go inside the other. So it's going to be sewn on that way. So I have to sew that side and then come across and sew that side. And then we're sort of on the home stretch, you see. Because we'll be ready to do our side flaps next. I have the side flaps tacked in place, and once I've figured out the correct height that I want, I've cut the shape at the top, and I'm going to tack that all down to the right height. Just making sure that I don't have lumpiness in the edge, and then I'll sew it before it goes in so that it's like that example one that I did. And it should look fairly neat because I'm going to sew it down along the outside with a kind of a running stitch going in. But I want it to look nice on the outside. So I find I'm changing my mind about a few things as I go along. I sewed those side flaps in, or one of them so far, with a running stitch running 2 directions. But I decided I like this plain edge more instead. So I'm going to just, the next one that I sew in, I'll sew it with a proper stitch first, but I'll just sew it in, making sure it catches just the first of those 2 layers and hide it on the outside. And I haven't made it very deep because look at the size of the bobbins. So taking those sizes into account, this flap will stretch all the way around to the back, and I think I'm going to put in an extra little panel there for the button and have the buttonhole attach at the back, because I love this plain look at the front and the access to the pocket. And then when it opens, you see, you've still plenty of room. You can lay all your bobbins out in and just scoop them up when you're finished working. So that's the new plan. Actually less sewing in it, because instead of having these kinds of seams the whole way around, I'm not having them anymore. I have my buttonhole cut now and ready to sew it. I'll be using a little gimp thread in it because it's a very soft fabric, and you can see how that kind of a buttonhole is done in the last video. That's just supporting, tacking, because there's so many layers in it, and it helps hold it still. I saw that as a kind of a tailor's trick when I was looking at videos on doing buttonholes, and they're nice to do. I like doing them. Okay, so change of plans again, because when I sewed the buttonhole on, I tried sewing on a panel behind that, and it was just too small to sew on accurately. So I mean, it doesn't show through there or anything, so I'm happy enough. But will all my little bobbins fit in? Ooh, yeah, I like that. And a little pocket on the back for the bobbins that you have out. Cute. Let's see if this closes okay with all the bobbins in. The side flaps, you see, were to allow you to put in a lot of them and shove them right down. Yay! Success! Saves you having to open it, you see. Every time you're doing working on a project, you can just leave your bobbins in there. And looks okay if you leave it out, you see. It doesn't look too messy. It's a beautiful fabric. That was a lovely fabric to work with. And when you're working, the other thing you can do is take out your bobbins easily to see them and just scoop them back in if you have to. You know, the way you grab a bit of time sewing and then you want to do something else, so you have to be able to put things away pretty quickly. So that is, happy with that. Nice little cute thing. And I like the fact it's plain on the front. You can't see what it is. It just looks like you've left a purse out. Happy, 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 happy.